While everyone's been distracted by the business end of the season, Rishi Sunak has quietly made a decision that's going to do untold damage to the Premier League. Let me explain why. For those of you unfamiliar with British politics, Sunak recently decided to call a snap election on July 4th. While I'm not going to get into the consequences this might have on an economic level, football fans should be absolutely fuming, because this means the arrival of an independent regulator, which the likes of Gary Neville have been crying out for over the years, has been delayed indefinitely. I'm sorry, but this is an absolute fucking piss take. It's bad enough that changes weren't immediately made following the Super League debacle, but for the UK government to go back on their promise of implementing this in 2024 is a whole new low. Make no mistake about it, Man City will continue cheating, just like they have been doing over the past decade, without so much as getting a slap on the wrist, while the rest of the league tread on eggshells. Where there's money, greed and power, there's corruption, and expecting the Premier League to regulate itself without being compromised is naive at best and outright delusional at worst. The EFL's 72 clubs have been lobbying hard for the football governance bill to be passed, but like always, their voices have remained unheard by the powers that be. Remember Tracy Crouch? She was the so-called poster girl for independent regulation in English football back in 2021. Fed up by all the delays, she's decided not to stand for re-election, so Lord only knows if these proposed and necessary changes will ever truly come to fruition. The worst part is, Lucy Fraser, who's the Secretary of State for Culture, Media and Sport, has tried to wash the government's hands off the issue. When quizzed about the decision to scrap FA Cup replays and Wolves' proposal to bin VAR, she replied, "It's not the government's job to solve every problem. I mean, fuck me. They get to dictate who does or doesn't own football clubs, yet don't want to do any actual meaningful work. That's politicians in a nutshell for you. It's all about maintaining their position of power and making a buck on the side while doing so. It's a travesty how quickly the Premier League is unfolding right now. One club is stifling competition through illegal practices, and others are getting punished for even daring to try and remain competitive. The media should hang their heads in shame for not reporting on this topic either, but I've come to expect fuckery on their part. Peace."